Field Marshal von Rundstedt, CNC in the west, and General Gehr von Schweppenburg, who was in command of the Panzer-type divisions, did not see any possibility of preventing the Allies from landing considerable forces. As a large-scale landing seemed inevitable to them, they prepared to counterattack somewhere inland. By rapid operations with their concentrated reserves, they hoped to push the Allied forces back or even to encircle them. Rommel's ideas were fundamentally influenced by the vast superiority of the Allied air arm. He was deeply impressed by the fact that in North Africa, a numerically inferior air force had kept him, with 80,000 men, nailed to the ground, as he expressed it, for 2 or 3 days. In view of this and other experiences, he was of the decided opinion that the operations planned by Rundstedt and von Schweppenburg would either be nipped in the bud or at least so much delayed that they were bound to fail. To Rommel, the only hope of repelling the invasion seemed to lie in offering the strongest possible resistance to the actual landing. The first 24 hours would be decisive. Once the Allies established a large beachhead, it would be impossible to drive them back into the sea because of their superiority of material. He expressed this opinion to the Führer, both verbally and in writing. He repeatedly told us that the Führer had agreed with him.
This argument would continue
until the actual invasion. Rommel wanted all the available mobile units to be under his command and positioned near the coast, ready to intervene as soon as the Allies hit the beach. Von Rundstedt wanted a powerful reserve which he could deploy towards a landing wherever it might occur along his, admittedly very long, defensive front. A compromise solution was reached in March 1944. Rommel was provided with 3 panzer divisions under his command in Heeresgruppe B, one of which would be able to intervene against the invasion around Caen at an early stage. 4 panzer and panzer grenadier divisions were placed as the central reserve under von Schweppenburg in Panzergruppe West, and the remaining 3 were in the south of France under Heeresgruppe G. Initially, the Allied planners at Cossack had assumed that the length of vulnerable coast would force the Germans to follow Rundstedt's strategy of counterattacking once the Allies were ashore. This was supported by telegrams from Oshima in February, reporting that even Hitler believed that it would be impossible to defeat any landing entirely at the water's edge. However, a degree of uncertainty and contradiction could be discerned in German thinking. The contrasting coastal strategy was spelled out in a telegram sent from the Japanese military attaché in Vichy on 17th February and read at Bletchley. He claimed to have been briefed by von Rundstedt's chief of staff as follows. Primary objective of German defences in Holland, Belgium and France is to hold firmly on the coast. Strategic aim, therefore, is to destroy the Allies on the sea and on the beaches, if that be impossible to destroy them in areas as near the coast as possible. No policy of luring Allies inland for subsequent destruction is being adopted. Rommel's assignment to command Heeresgruppe B was also suggestive of a possible shift in approach. His appointment was followed at Bletchley Park, and its possible strategic implications inferred from further Japanese messages. As the Western Front Committee record for the week ending 17th March commented, the eventual setup in the West has been cleared to some extent by JMA reports. It seems probable that operational forces directly employed against invasion will be grouped under Army Group B, commanded by Rommel, while Rundstedt, although an abler general, with Army Group D will take second place. The principal panzer commander is to be Gen D. Gehr von Schweppenburg. The existence of Heeresgruppe B under Rommel and of Panzergruppe West under von Schweppenburg was also confirmed by Enigma decrypts during March, which also revealed the locations of their respective headquarters in Saint-Quentin and west of Paris. What was not clear was the exact chain of command. Von Rundstedt remained CNC West, but it was not certain how much control he had over Rommel. Meanwhile, von Schweppenburg and the Panzer Reserve were under the direct control of OKW, and, in theory, of Hitler himself. Even after the Rommel-Rundstedt compromise, the debate continued. Reports from the Japanese continued to emphasize Rommel and the coastal strategy. A lengthy message from the Japanese naval attaché in